Oh, hi! Didn't see you there. We have your dog. And this is another great episode of ETX Rocks, featuring Chaos and Creation.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. I'm Louise, your host today, and I've got some help with Chris Sheehan. He's going to be co-hosting with me. Now, Chris, you've got a little bit of experience in the music industry yourself, which is one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on board. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your own musical background?
Thanks, Louise. My name's Chris Sheehan. I've played in bands since I was 14, all around East Texas. Started in a band called Insanity. Started another band called My Remains. We had a good run for a while. Then I left and worked out of state, and I came back, and I've just about given it up, because I am getting kind of old. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot. So I'm playing with Deathrow Bodeen right now. We're having a good time, and I really appreciate you guys inviting me to co-host the show.
Yeah, and today our guests are none other than Chaos and Creation.
Definitely.
And guys, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Simon Young, and I am lead vocals, aka frontman of Chaos and Creation.
I'm Jerome Taylor. I am the drummer for Chaos.
I'm Randy Stevens. I play guitar.
I'm Albert. I play the bass.
And you guys brought your instruments for us. You actually brought the full set, and you're going to play a couple of songs for us. And the first song you guys are going to play for us is Small Town City Boy. Simon, why don't you tell us a little bit about this song, because this song's been around before the band was around. So.
Yeah, I wrote this song about 2 or 3 years ago, aka whenever I was 8 years old. Wrote it when I was 14, and it was kind of I was looking to write something a little bit more bluesy, a little bit something different than what I had been writing for a while, and it was just kind of the story of how I got to where I was and the obstacles that I went through to get there, because I was bullied a lot as a kid, and so it talks about a lot of that.
And this is Small Town City Boy by Chaos and Creation.
Just small-town jokes, I could say. Playing small-town art shows, playing on town radio. And nobody was possible for someone my age. The things I was called, and nothing I say. The way I rolled it, flow that away. Inventing of ways, come to the side. I'm a small-town city boy. Pots and pans. But mama said that I had it she didn't understand. But riding home in the car every day with my drumsticks in my hands. A master beat to every song that my daddy played. Hey, the things I was called and nothing I say. The way I rolled it flow that way. You didn't take offense, the mention of place. Come to me, I'm a small town city boy. The kids of high school, well, think I was better late. If you didn't play by their rules, you won't wear the day. Things on the cold, I better not stay. The way I rode in the road down way. Take the facts, the let it jingle ways. I'm talking way down. I'm a ball down city boy. Small town Sandy. Oh.
And we are back, and that was Small Town City Boy by Chaos and Creation.
It's an awesome song.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Now, I've got a question about that song. Now, Simon, like you said, you started off with this song on your own that you wrote it a few years ago. What was it like for all of you together to kind of change this from a solo acoustic artist song into something with full band? What kind of process does that include?
I feel like it was a lot easier than what most people would expect, because coming from this group of individuals who have all played various types of music in various different bands and with various different backgrounds, there's a lot of experience that was involved, so it really didn't take that much to be able to slowly turn it into something really cool.
He got to learn the laws of music.
I did. I got to learn the laws of music from these, whatever you want to call them.
I'm a person.
Music sheriffs. I was going to ask you guys, how long have you been playing music individually?
20 years for me, 20 plus.
14 years old, so about 4,000 something years.
Yeah, the same as me. Yeah,
It's probably been about, I'd say about 10 years for me.
And how long have you guys been together as Chaos and Creation, the way it is right now?
Since
Yeah,
February.
February.
So you guys got 2 original songs, and you guys also, something that I wanted to point out was I noticed when I was checking you out, you guys live kind of far away from one another. And that's a lot of work putting that in, right?
Absolutely.
He was living in Abilene.
Yeah.
Wow.
I travel a lot around Texas, so.
So being a Texas drummer, how'd you take the news about Vinnie Paul? That was pretty bad.
Oh yeah, that was really bad for me. I kind of took it, pretty hard. Vinnie Paul was one of the guys that I looked up to as a drummer.
Most definitely. One of the best ever lived.
Yeah.
Well, when I listen to your music and I listen to your covers, I notice you guys are real diversified. How would you kind of describe your sound?
Drum? What would you?
Well, I'd say that we kind of try to, just come together and just make, music, and however, it comes across, because we all have different musical influences, and when you bring it together, it kind of creates chaos and creation, and, essentially, so.
That kind of segues into my next question. Who came up with the name?
I'd say we all collectively
Yeah.
came up with the name together.
We kind of all went off and we created this long list, and evidently the Junkyard Misfits didn't work very well. So Randy was kind of like, what about Chaos and Creation? And so we all just kind of were like, take a vote. And then after that, it just kind of stopped.
Did it have a particular meaning to you?
Well, yeah.
Every day.
For Jerome and I, we came from chaos
Yeah.
in our previous things. Now we're creating something.
Yeah. Creating
Gotcha.
something.
Gotcha. And the artwork that goes behind it. You got a triangle. You got some kind of gear. Is that that's symbolizing the chaos and the
Yeah.
Something
creation?
like that. We actually had
Yes, the middle.
to ditch that.
Yeah, we actually had something that we, like for our original logo, we had to ditch it and leave it off because Panic at the Disco actually went and changed their logo like the minute that we got our logo together, and it looks almost exactly like it.
You're
So-
telling me Panic
Yes.
copied
They
you
did.
guys?
Basically, yeah.
It's- man, I'm
They were
telling
like,
you.
man, we got to figure out something to gain more fan base, so we had to copy their logo. It's
Yeah,
gonna make
you
everything
know.
better.
Our
telling
symbol
you.
was taken from mysticism, you know, from mysticism books. I mean,
Our new logo actually has the chaos symbol and the creation symbol inside the gear.
Oh, cool.
It looks really neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
I'm sure we're looking forward to seeing that. I know I am. You know, I had wrote out a few questions. You know, what's it mean being in a band to you guys? I mean, what's the best part of being in a band?
Randy? I'm putting you on the spot there, boy.
I like to see people enjoy what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing live is definitely the best thing about being in a band.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
live for playing live.
The teamwork.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
family. We have a family. We all get along pretty good. So.
It's really cool whenever we're playing live and we either play one of our originals like Small Town, or we go off and we play a cover and we play No Diggity by Blackstreet, and then just to see the reactions on people's faces, to be able to see how like everybody enjoying what we do. That for me personally, that's what I live for.
Yeah, most definitely. My time growing up, No Diggity was definitely there, you know. And then it kind of faded away, and here comes Pitch Perfect, bring it back for my daughters, and they start singing it, you know. And I just couldn't believe it when I saw you guys playing it. I was going through your videos, and I thought it was an awesome job. Whose idea was it?
Musical diversity.
Yeah.
It was actually my idea.
It was your
Oddly
idea?
enough, the youngest of the group,
Look
it
at
was
the
my
young
idea.
man.
It
They
was
were
my
just
idea.
like,
I've
come
actually,
up with a slap bass line.
Yeah, we wanted him to be funky. He's funky like that.
because there's no bass line to that song, so we were like, Albert, just come up with something. And then after that, it kind of really formed the song.
Yeah,
The entire song is based around Albert's bass
The
lines.
slap in the
Yeah,
face.
definitely.
And I played that song for like 3 years, and so I've always done it just acoustically. And so whenever I got with the band, I was like, you know, let's see what we can do with it outside of acoustics. And then when we started to play it, it just started off as us just kind of joking around. And
Right.
me and Jerome, we just I got on the guitar, and he was behind the drums. I was like, hey, Jerome, just give me a beat real quick. And we went with it, and then Albert slowly just jumped in, and then so did Randy, and it just became something super awesome.
Yeah, and like we talked about, you know, you were a solo artist for a while before you joined the band. So how did you take that step from being on your own into joining this family, and what kind of transition has that been like for you?
Well, for me personally, it's been an amazing experience because doing it on your own, yes, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But you don't feel that togetherness. You don't feel that family. You don't feel that compassion with everybody. And then you're kind of left to, like, with all of these thoughts circling through your heads. And with these guys, I really feel like I can talk to them and us come up with a collective idea as to what's actually going on. It's been really cool. I really enjoy playing with the band, oddly enough, a lot more than I do just playing my solo stuff. I feel like there's a lot more opportunities with this than there is with an acoustic guitar.
Almost like this band is kind of giving you some wings. Huh?
It is, absolutely.
You know, my experience was, you know, I played in a band first, and then I started playing guitar and doing some singer-songwriter stuff. And you did that backwards, you know, to what I did, you know. And I always felt the safety net of being in a band. You know, when I was up there on stage with my group, I felt, you know, this connectivity and this safety net. When I was up there by myself with just the guitar, I definitely felt more vulnerable. You know what I mean? And when I feel vulnerable, I feel nervous. And, you know, so being in a band was always much tighter for me. You know, that's what I always liked about it.
Going back to the laws of music, like when he brought his song in there, he was used to playing it by himself. He could do whatever he wanted to.
Sure.
So he jumps in there with us, and of course, there's things that just happen in a song, and we feel them. There's time to change a chord, we're changing. And his song was not quite structured like that, and we were playing it, get off. It was like, Simon, this is the way things work in a band, because we're all feeling what's going to happen next. And he understood that and created his song, changed it.
That's something that I've really had to learn being in
Sure.
a band is it's not, whenever you're up there doing solo stuff, you can easily, if you mess up, just play it off, and then nobody will really notice the difference. But if you do that within a band, then it kind of shows a little bit more. So I feel like that is more incentive to become tighter as a group, to become to practice all the time, to be as tight and together as possible.
Absolutely. Which comes with practice. And you guys have gotten a lot of practices in.
What's practice?
Yeah.
I was talking to you earlier.
Our live shows are a practice.
Yeah, no, legitimately, we
It was not the intention. Our goal was not to practice. Their goal was not to be playing shows until this month, really.
And then we got constant questions asking, when is Chaos going to play? Oh, you guys should play this. You guys should do that. And we're like, man, we don't even feel like we're ready, but let's do it anyway.
Yeah, and that was one of my questions I was going to ask you guys. Do you have recording plans for the future? I mean, you've got these 2 originals, and
one of them is halfway done.
Great.
Yeah.
So just got to go put him on it and his vocals.
Who you working with?
Billy Hillman out of Huntsville, Hill Track Studios.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear it.
He's also one of my guys I look up to on guitar. He's an awesome guitarist.
Fantastic. So he's gonna make it sound extra good.
He's a secret weapon. If I get stumped, I just go say, Billy, what should I do here?
Right. Sort of got a rapid fire question for you, Albert.
All right.
Who's your top 2 favorite bassist of all time?
I would have to say Peanut of 311 and probably Flea of Chili Peppers.
Yeah, most definitely. I hear both of those in what you're doing. And one thing I was going to ask Randy was, if you could open for any band tomorrow that ever lived, who would it be?
The Peppers.
The Peppers, and why?
Well,
It's Flea.
yeah, it would be the Peppers, and I like their music.
But with Frusciante.
Yeah, John would have to come back and play though.
Frusciante.
Most definitely, I would not argue with that. You'd open for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Jerome, I want to know, who's your favorite drummer?
My favorite drummer would definitely have to be a guy by the name of Tony Roaster Jr. He's one of the drummers that you don't really hear a lot about. But with his chops, his style, it's definitely probably one of the guys that I, kind of, take on, trying to encompass his style.
Most definitely. I've never heard him. I'm going to check him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simon, outside of music, who has been the biggest inspiration in your life?
Outside of music?
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, this is it's going to sound really weird, but you got to hear me out on this one. Actually, Seth Macfarlane, and he is the creator of quite a few TV shows, and he's a voice impersonator, and he's a vocalist, and he's an actor, and he does all of these crazy things, but all somehow is able to make it work together. Like, he has a way of just being able to do a little bit of everything, and so that's something that I really look up to, because I'm kind of the same way. I'm a person that wants to do a little bit of everything, and so that just seeing that he's able to make that happen is just something that really inspires me.
That was a good answer. I wasn't expecting that.
So you guys have 2 originals together as a band right now, and more than one of you are songwriters with original material of your own. Do you guys plan on incorporating the songs that you've already created into songs for the full band, or do y'all also have some ideas of making something completely fresh with this group that you have?
I kind of feel like we have a mixture of both. We each have some of our own stuff that we would like to incorporate, turn it into something really great and something really awesome, and make it chaotic. And at the same time, I feel like we have with what we've done, we've gained a lot of inspiration as to what we know we can do, and we're going to try to push those boundaries farther and farther.
Absolutely.
August will be the month that we work all the originals out. Like, if we hadn't had time to sit down and do everything. Play.
So what we've seen so far is just the beginning.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And it's been chaotic.
Absolutely chaotic.
More chaos than creation.
Well, we've talked to a few of you guys in previous episodes, like Simon, Randy, you guys, about some of your influences. And they're already so drastically different, where Randy, you've played in country music before. Simon, you've kind of got this Ed Sheeran, Brendan Urie kind of vibe going on. So how do these different influences, how do they meld together to form what you have going on? And what other sort of influences do the rest of you have?
Albert?
I'm pretty diversified in my listening. I like reggae, and I like ska, and I like punk. I grew up listening to a lot of punk music, and But I also like classic rock, and all my influences were like John Paul Jones and Paul McCartney, and I just like all that. Anything that was made from the 1940s to the present is like my style. It's like I love grunge and alternative, and it's just I try to incorporate all that into my style of playing. So all those influences are drawn from rockabilly or pop or punk, or it's just I just basically just stew it all together, and that's
The
what
good
comes
stuff.
out in my playing. And, I can play upright bass too, so a lot of that stuff came from rockabilly and swing.
You ever going to
jazz.
put it in with the band?
We can try something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
For us as a group, actually, the fact that we are all as diversified as we are, I mean, these two, I mean, all four of us, we love Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
We take
And we're all
Definitely, yeah.
multi-instrumentalists. Too.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
play like guitar and drums and bass and piano, and he can play a bunch of instruments too. Jerome's a percussionist
I'll
too.
play,
He's,
yeah, drums.
and Simon's got a lot of fun too.
Yes, sir.
I've heard him play some.
There's a lot of diversity between us, and I think that our age variety is crazy. It allows us to have so much variety in and of itself, that we can take Nirvana, or we can take something from Panic at the Disco, and we can rock it out, and we can turn it into our own thing. There's no covers we're not covering them to be like Nirvana. We're not covering songs to be like Panic at the Disco. We're covering them to be like Chaos and Creation.
Yeah.
With these differences in age and these differences in your influences and where you've all come from, you guys could have chosen to be divisive, and this could have caused nothing but conflict with you, but yet you've pushed through that, and you've pushed, it's like you've made the whole big picture is more important than what each person might want specifically. And I find that really inspiring, and I find that extremely impressive that a group of guys that are so diverse can come together and make something so cohesive.
Yeah.
I got a question. Who's the newest member in the band?
Simon.
So, did you guys seek him out?
Me and him started looking. I already knew this guy. I've known you for 10, 15 years, some more than that.
Somewhere around there.
And told Jerome the whole time, this guy's got to come play bass for us.
Yeah.
He is very funky. He can slap. He's smooth when he plays. And he come on board, and
All we needed was
Amber, my wife, told me to ask Boston if he knew any vocalists. I was like, I ain't even thought about doing that, So I hit him up, and he says Simon Young. All right, so I go look at Simon's page and see how young he is. Go back to Chris. It's like, man, Chris, he's 16. I just don't see how we're going to get into any bars. He accepted my friend request, and I had sent him a message, and he pops on there, and I was like, hey, man, send me a demo, just you singing some songs. What do you want to hear? I was like, well, send me a Chili Pepper song, and then you just pick whatever. And he sent those to me.
It's a minor thing.
Me and Amber were listening to them,
Yeah.
and she comes crawling over the seat. Who's that guy? Some guy that Boston sent me. Sent it to Jerome. Jerome's like, I like him.
I liked it a lot. Yeah. Something that we weren't really used to is actual good, strong singer, and definitely works really well for the project that we were coming up with.
And he bounces everywhere.
We call him Kid Chaos.
They call me Kid
All over
Chaos,
the stage.
aka High Flyer.
We talked him into getting a wireless mic, and he's off the stage, and he's
Well,
all in the crowd singing.
It was actually really funny because whenever they had sent me the friend request and they asked me to send them demos, and I sent them to them, and he was like, well, here, I'm gonna put you in a group chat with the rest of the guys, and Jerome started, because Jerome was the hardest. Apparently, he was the hardest to try to please with a vocalist, and so I got on there. He's like, so what are you influenced by? And so I told him my influences. I was like, well, I listen to a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Offspring. I listen to a lot of Panic at the Disco, and I kind of take from all that. And I didn't expect this reaction from him, but
he just said all the right words.
I got a gift back, and all the gift was some random dude just going, yay!
Yes.
And so it all fell into place after that. So
Do you have any? Did I see in your Facebook you got some theater background?
I do, actually. I have a lot of
They have some play in what you do today.
Actually, it really does. I have a lot of theatrical background. I did a lot of Tyler Civic Theater whenever I was growing up. And I was actually in a production of Les Miserables, and I played. That required a lot of theatrics in your voice, and it requires a lot more where you have to be bold, you have to be out there, and if you're not, it's going to ruin that whole presence that you have. And so I think that a lot of the theater that I've done has really helped me gain this confidence in performing.
Yeah.
And so whenever I got to be with all of these guys, it kind of gave me that opportunity to not be behind the guitar. And I finally got the opportunity to just be out front and really show people what I can really do.
Yeah, cool. You know, and that's one of the things about, you know, I was looking at your Facebook and I saw you just said East Texas. That's where you're from, East Texas. And, you know, a lot of times when I was growing up and I was playing, you know, in East Texas was different than, say, Dallas. You played, you got to practice, you got to go somewhere and play in front of a few friends. It wasn't so critical. Like, you know, I'd go to Dallas and I'd see how many bands and how, you know, almost cutthroat the industry would be out there. But here in East Texas, you can kind of spread your wings and fly. You can kind of get your feet wet, you know, and it's a great place to become a band and then take it somewhere else. You guys plan on taking this to the next level?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be working as hard as we were if we didn't plan on it.
Absolutely.
Simon, you have been a friend of ours here at the ETX ROCKS Show for quite some time. And, I mean, you've had your own episode, you've been on Salt and Birds, you've even co-hosted a little bit with us. One of the things that you've done that a lot of people may not know about is our Matt Gansel Music Outreach at the Truman W. Smith Children's Home in Gladewater, Texas. Now, what a lot of people may not know about this place, it is a home for medically fragile children. I mean, these are kids that are really, really struggling with health issues. A lot of them are wheelchair or stroller bound, they're nonverbal, brain injuries, brain traumas. I mean, some really, really difficult challenges. And that can be a very challenging crowd as well. And you have been one of our heroes there. You have gone several times and you have played for these kids and really have made an impact on their lives. It also gives the staff that work there an opportunity to kind of just unburden themselves just for an hour and to just listen to some amazing music. And I want to thank you for that.
Absolutely. I have an amazing time every time doing it.
Yeah. But you guys as a band, y'all are also looking into paying things forward as well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you've done and that you're planning on doing when it comes to charities or benefits?
Ready? You want to take this one?
We're playing Herb and Dee's next month.
Benefit from
Yeah, and
Benefit
Yeah,
from Nathan.
7:15, I think. Yeah, July the 15th, Herb and D's for
Right.
Nathan.
You know, if anybody wants us to do benefits, we're open for it.
absolutely, all the time. We're constantly booking. We constantly are we have a very big circle of friends that we really call our family. We don't call them our friends, we call them our family. They're over all the time. They come to all the shows, and so
It's like our sister band, Gypsy Sun.
Yeah.
We like go to each other's shows.
Yeah.
It's like a deal we got worked out. You come to our shows, or you come play our shows, we come play your shows. We bring the crowd both places.
I call it support local music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
cross-pollinating. Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
and at the same time, we have a lot of a lot of friends and stuff that are not involved in the music industry that just come just to support the shows. And so a lot of the time, if somebody's having a birthday party, we just recently played a birthday party.
Acoustic jam.
And just did like a little acoustic jam where we just all had fun. We just
Yeah.
brought some livelihood to the party, and we love doing stuff like that. It really gives us a chance to open up and experiment a lot as well.
It's a good way to grow.
Yeah.
It's a good way to grow.
And it takes a certain amount of character for somebody, because what you do as a band, it's hard work. You know, people come to a show and they see somebody play for a few hours. You know, all the work that it takes into learning the songs, into fine-tuning it together as a group, and just setting up and breaking down in itself is it's a huge task. So it does take something special for somebody to be willing to go through all of that and just want to pay it forward to somebody else, just to see somebody else get something out of it. So this is episode 270 of the ETX ROCKS Show. We are here with Chaos and Creation for the first time. Now you guys are going to play a second song for us. The name of this song is House on Fire. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where this song came from?
This song is about being bipolar, and there's nobody else involved in the song but me and my inner self, I guess my conscience, whatever. And it's me talking to myself. That's basically what the song is about.
Did you write the lyrics and the music?
Right, he's a extremely
I was riding
good
down the road one day and just got this house on fire and stuck in my head. I was like, I gotta go write a song to this.
So this is House on Fire by Chaos and Creation. House on Fire by Chaos and Creation. Man, what an amazing song.
It's a great song. I love that chorus. First time I heard it, I started humming. I wanted to sing the chorus with you guys. It's a great song.
Well, so Randy, you wrote this song. So Simon, what was it like for you learning how to sing somebody else's song?
It was almost kind of like doing a cover. It was kind of like going over the ideas of what's behind the song and being able to find that emotional attachment. Growing up, I had a lot of issues with that as well, and so it was easy for me to connect to it because I know exactly that feeling. I know that feeling, and so getting up there, it feels like I can just sing my heart out and be able to release that roar that I wanted to release for such a long time, and be able to release that roar that Randy wanted to release for such a long time.
Randy, is it weird for you having somebody else sing the melody or the lyrics that you wrote?
When I told him what the song was about, it was a game changer for him. Well, I feel it now. I understand the song. It's more emotions, you know.
It's definitely an emotional song. I mean, I can feel it right from the beginning all the way through. And did your part, Al, when you came into this, I mean, how does the songwriting process for you guys work, being that there's that distance we talked about earlier, with where you live?
You just got to listen. I listen to the melodies the way I come into the bass line. It's just listen to the song. And the vocal part, of course, is really important to the song, but musically it's that's important too. It's equally important too.
As far as the distance goes with the writing, a lot of it, Jerome actually has a song of his own that we're looking to put into action. And as far as the writing between me and Randy, a lot of the time whenever I go over for practice, I'll go and I'll just stay the whole weekend due to how far it is to travel. And a lot of the time me and him will just kind of talk about things, and we'll come up with ideas for songs, like just on the spot.
Right.
And we'll just come up with like these really cool guitar melodies, and we'll go home and we'll write some stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll be like, okay, what'd you come up with?
Right.
And so that's just kind of how the process goes. The distance only provides a small issue, because when you have the emotional attachment and the connection that all four of us have with each other, distance doesn't become as much of an issue.
It's a super good answer.
So we are here with Chaos in Creation for the first time on the ETX ROCKS Show, and we will be right back after this message from an independent artist.
We are Tap Dead Center.
And thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
We are back with Chaos in Creation on the ETX ROCKS Show. So guys, where can people follow along with you on social media?
You guys can follow us on Facebook at Chaos and Creation Music. You can also join our little group that we've got going on called our Chaotic Creators. And that's for everybody that if you join in that, you get instant access to, like if we post something, you get an immediate notification.
Cool.
And so you'll know about everything. You can also find us on Instagram at Chaos and Creation Music. And then there we kind of post a lot of our pictures and stuff that a lot of the time we don't get to post. We post a lot of them on Instagram. So if you go on there, you'll find all kinds of videos, all kinds of photos. And we're always posting about where our shows are, always. Anything else, Randy?
Photos of Randy hurting himself.
Oh, yeah, photos of Randy hurting himself.
Yeah, this is a dangerous occupation.
We need hazard pay for this kind of
We
work.
do. We need to get you some hazard tape.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
Well, I hurt my knee the other day.
We were playing our first headlining show.
I have actually fell off of bars playing, but didn't hurt myself then. But now I jump in the air one time and blow my knee out.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're the one going and, like, he'll go off in the middle of No Diggity, and he will go, and he's got a wireless system for his guitar, so he'll go up and he will sit on the bar, like all the way across the room, go sit on the bar outside. He'll go even outside, and he will still be playing the song.
Yeah, I went and hunted down Post Profit at Clicks. They were outside chilling. I went all over the bar looking for them. Anyways, I had to go back across stage and go out the back door, and I found it back here.
During your set?
During the song? No, not during the set, during the song. And they were like, dude, what are you doing back here? And
I was like,
we were like,
That's
at the very
funny.
end of the song, I was just like, so everybody, that way you all know how awesome our guitar player is. We don't know where he is.
Paging Randy to the stage, please.
He didn't miss a lick either.
No, he did not miss anything. Had all the pauses, everything down. down pat.
And I asked that question because I remember singing on a show one time, and I'm looking in the audience, and this guy looks at me and he goes, "You suck." I was like, "Dang."
No, I've had the
He
same
really doesn't
thing.
like me.
I've had the same thing happen to me. At one point, I was playing a show and had 2 people yelling at me because it was bring your own beer, so they were drinking all the kind of heavy stuff. It was like the venue was awful. They didn't know how to advertise. Total of like 3 people there. And 2 of them were up there yelling at me because I had played a show earlier that day and I lost my voice. And so they were yelling at me to play a song. I was like, I'm trying. I can't do anything about it.
Right.
Wow, so you guys put on quite a show, don't you?
Absolutely. We go into every show and we do a little pep talk before every show. And we're like, so, are we going to bring the chaos? Yes, we're going to bring the chaos. And so we don't go into any shows without planning to put on a show.
We were still trying to figure out how to get Jerome to be able to walk out into the crowd and still play.
Yeah, I
drums,
think
so.
we're working on maybe strapping.
I was about to say, we get you like one of those little
Tommy Lee
quad
style,
drums.
you know, Motley Crue Tommy Lee style.
Hey, we could go and we could do what 21 Pilots did. Put you up on get you like a little mini kit, put it on like a little platform, and send it on top of people. Have people hold it up.
I can like crowd surf and
Crowd
everything.
surf for the drums.
I could see the meeting. It's like, are we going to bring the chaos? Randy, do you have your knee brace?
Oh wow!
I'll take my Geritol before the show.
Brett, Albert, make sure you go drink your insure before the show.
You don't want to get dehydrated. Those
Make sure you get your nap
Pedialyte.
in, too.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I think I might need to do that.
I
for
eat
real.
dinner at 4 o'clock and take a nap.
Oh, that's funny.
So, if there's a venue out there that wants to bring the chaos to their place, or maybe somebody who's interested in doing a private party or a birthday party, where would you send them to get in touch with you?
They can reach us on Facebook. My number's on there. I think your number's on Instagram.
Mhm.
They can message the band, call the number.
Jerome, you have anything to add?
Well, just Facebook is probably one of the best.
Email. Yeah.
I think we have
We have an
email.
It's
So
on there.
On Messenger, it says you guys reply within minutes. So
Yeah,
obviously
we really try. We really try to stay on top of everything.
Yes.
So, especially with all 4 of us being admins on the page, it's very easy for like if one of us is busy, the other one can pick it up like that. And so,
Digital chaos.
yeah, digital chaos.
Something else you guys have definitely stayed on top of is merchandise.
Absolutely.
A lot of fresh bands, they wait till they've gotten pretty well established after some time before they start pumping out shirts or anything, but you guys have stayed on it from the beginning. So what all do you have available when it comes to merchandise?
Well, we have T-shirts, we have bandanas, we have signature shot glasses. You can either buy one of them,
pretty cool looking koozies,
Onesies.
Koozies, onesies.
Tank tops.
yeah.
Amber K is the one that she made it a point for us to have everything that we needed as soon as we went and did our first show.
And so like we showed up to our first show with this whole case just full of merch and
Manny.
we our signature shot glasses, we actually have them where it's got like our little symbol on it on the front of them, and then each one of us has our own little shot glass. So you can either buy like a Randy Stevens shot glass or a Jerome Taylor shot glass, or you can buy the whole set for like $10.
Do they have any of the Simon Young shot glasses with the chocolate milk in it, or?
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah!
We drink Yoo-hoo, not chocolate.
You'll still be Simon Young when you're old. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that part.
So where can people go to get a hold of your merchandise?
Shows?
Yeah, our shows. We're working right now on trying to get ourselves a online merch store, but we also are doing them where if you can get in contact with one of us individually, if we're in your area and we can get the order, you guys place an order or something like that. Like I've sold quite a few bandanas just in like Lindale where I'm from, and like people will just go and say, hey, here's my $5. Go, I would like a bandana. I was like, cool, I'll pick it up, I'll get it to you by next week.
We also
Awesome.
can ship.
Yeah.
You know, we can do it that way too.
I love the idea of the bandana, though. That's a great idea because it's $5. Sometimes people don't have the 15 or 20 for the shirt, but you know they can get the bandana for $5. That's
And it's
great.
it's got chaos and creation in the middle of it, and then it's got each one of our signatures on each corner of it. So it's got you got a little bit of everything.
That's an awesome idea. I might get up on that idea.
Sweet.
And I like the bandana idea myself too, because sometimes I don't want to wear jeans and a t-shirt when I get out. Sometimes I like to wear a dress or something, and you know, if all you've got are the merch shirts, and you're kind of stuck. But you can throw a bandana on with some pearls or whatever.
There you go, with some pearls.
Yeah.
That's right.
There we go.
Definitely bandana and pearls. That's gonna be a new trend.
It's a new band name.
Yes.
Bandanas and pearls. There you go. All right, there's your writing prompt for a song.
Sweet. Randy, we need to get on top of that.
But yeah, while we're talking about merch, and like you said, Amber Kay is the one that makes sure you guys have everything you need. I also really want to thank her very much, because she's the one who provided the ETX Rocks logos for ourselves, which we're going to be getting put on our new car pretty quickly. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your donation and your support. So you have been tuned in to episode 270 of the ETX ROCKS Show. We're here with our guest Chaos and Creation and our awesome co-host today, Chris Sheehan.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming out and kind of giving your 2 cents in this. And guys, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Had a great time.
I had a great time too, and it was really great meeting everyone of you individually. Thank
You too, man.
If you're tuned in to us for the first time, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's at ETX Rocks. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button, hit the like button while you're there. A subscription will give you the opportunity to get first-hand access to videos whenever we drop new music videos, the interviews, our Songbirds and Troubadours episodes, you know, everything that we have going on, you will get instant access as soon as it airs. What that also does for us is it changes the algorithms where our videos are in the recommended section more often, which means that's more exposure for guys like Chaos and Creation, where their interview will be in the recommended section where more people will have access to it. If you didn't know, we are completely self-funded, so we depend on viewers and listeners like you to keep this show going. If you would like to contribute, you can do so at www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. Every bit of money that comes in goes right back into this show. It helps us keep it on the air. It helps us to improve our equipment, have opportunities to go out and do some on-site interviews as well and get video. We appreciate every donation that has been sent. Thank you so much for your support. Also, we have a brand new website. It's www.etxrocks.show. There you have access to everything that we have going on. You also have access to every bit of music that has been recorded on our episodes. You guys check it out. It's pretty amazing. So once again, I want to thank you guys out there for supporting live independent music. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks!
it does.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.